This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday. Time to kick off a new work week and school week. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We're here to help you get your day started. Let's take a look at what's making headlines on this February 10th. Drivers on I-65 near downtown may have noticed a lack of streetlights. Working for you, we are looking at what's causing the problem and how it's being fixed.
A new performance stage is still on the books in one Morgan County city, but a meeting happening today could change the way Martinsville leaders pay for it.
And the Oscars have wrapped up, but the excitement over the big show is still buzzing here in Indy. We're looking at how the winner for Best Picture has a huge connection to the Circle City. But first, we need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. And as you're heading out the door this morning, maybe sending the kids off to the bus stop, you'll want to grab some kind of jacket that has a hood because it's been raining a lot since yesterday, Todd.
Yeah, we've seen over an inch of rain in most locations, and it's still falling in some locales. You notice there's a pretty sharp cutoff here to the north, but where you're not even getting radar returns, it's still damp, it's still dreary, and it just overall not a great morning for us. The heavier precipitation in and around the metro area still, it encompasses almost all of I-70. In fact, right here in Greenfield along I-70, a little bit of a heavier shower. Edinburgh to Shelbyville over towards Martinsville, we're dealing with some of these rain showers that continue to move through, and they stream from west to east across the area and will continue to do so this morning. Again, with that sharp cutoff to the north, most of this rain should be through by the time we get to 9 o'clock here this morning, and that is the good news going forward. If your commute's a little bit later, it'll be potentially a little bit drier. The colder air is coming in. The 40s and 50s will be gone, replaced by the 30s. Once we get into the 30s, that is where we stay throughout the entire day today, only getting back up to right around 37, 38 degrees. This afternoon, more clouds, not as much in the way of precipitation. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look right now at our Traffic Now maps. The good news right now around the metro area, no crashes to slow you down. Let's plan out your drive in Hamilton County, heading southbound right now on I-69, starting you back here at State Road 13, heading to the I-465 ramps. It is a 13-minute drive, so everything there is traveling up to speed. Let's take a live look outside right now from our INDOT traffic camera here at I-465 and Ditch Road. The good news, as you can see a little bit there behind the headlights at Ditch Road Bridge, that is open, so that is good news for your commute this week.
Working for you, we began looking into your concerns about dark places along the interstate because lights are out.
Yeah, back in January, we told you about 3 high traffic areas, and we got to work. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live on what's being done to get these lights back on. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So there were 3 specific areas we told you about. And if you look right here over that speed limit sign, you can see there's a light out right there on 65 northbound, making it difficult to see, especially during severe weather or rain like we were having this morning. So here's what was behind the lights out. Along Lafayette, some owners complained the lights were too bright in their backyards along Moeller Road. 3 lights were turned off, but the rest along I-465 near East Street, IPL was working on replacing meter service. In several cases, the workers mistakenly did not turn the breakers back on. And on northbound 65, several lights near mile marker 109 are still out. IPL is doing service work to several light meters in that stretch of road. INDOT says once it's made aware of an outage, its contract has 30 days to replace the bulbs or make repairs.
Safety obviously is our #1 priority for every Hoosier that, crosses our path on our interstates every single day.
If you need to report a light outage on the interstate, the best way to get results is to report it to indot4u.com. Next, why the state spent about $500,000 on a lighting program and why the state believes it will save you money. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Happening today, the Martinsville City Council will discuss how to pay for a new stage. Under an initial proposal, $150,000 for a portable stage would come from the Water and Sewer Fund. Working for you, RTV6 was the first local TV station to tell you about that controversial idea last week. Leaders told us that they're backing off the plan after a lot of backlash. Water bills in Martinsville more than doubled last fall.
Also happening today, Indianapolis leaders will announce new technology to help connect people in need to food resources and nutrition assistance. Community Compass will be used to find things like food pantries, hot meal sites, farmers markets, and more. It can also help help you determine if you qualify for SNAP, WIC, or other benefits. We'll learn more about the formal announcement scheduled for 2 o'clock at Windsor Village Family Park Center later today. Soon, students,
staff, and visitors can get tampons, pads, and similar products for free at Purdue University. Student advocates have been pushing to make feminine hygiene products free for several years now. Audrey Ruppel, the chair of the Equity and Diversity Committee, is part of the faculty group that supported that change.
This is something that we see over and over in the U.S., but around the world too, where women are treated in an inequitable fashion than men. So the fact that we have sanitary products that we're charging for women, whereas we're not charging for things like toilet paper or paper towels or even soap and soap dispensers, which are all also hygiene products.
Free products will be available in every campus bathroom that already has feminine hygiene dispensers. This is an issue RTV6 has been following for months now. You may remember back in November, we told you about the organization Project Period. The group distributes pads, tampons, wipes, and even carrying bags to schools in downtown Indianapolis, Franklin and Perry Townships, and Decatur Central. They also make deliveries to homeless and youth shelters.
Today, RTV6 is sharing a Hiring Hoosier success story. We first covered the Indiana Construction Roundtable Foundation's training program 1 year ago. It offers free classes for adults interested in working in the construction industry. Monday night, 22 people will graduate from the program at the Mary Rigg Neighborhood Center. Before the ceremony, potential employers will interview, pre-screen, and possibly hire students in an exclusive job fair for that graduation class. A big congrats to them.
And here at 507, Eskenazi Health is hiring Hoosiers, and they want to get the word out. The Health Network reached out to RTV6 to share more information about a recruitment event that's coming up. It will be held tomorrow from 3 to 6 at the downtown hospital campus, and it's open to all imaging professionals, registered nurses, and RN students who will graduate in May. Officials say Indianapolis is a very good market for nurses and radiology techs, and Eskenazi offers competitive wages and benefits.
You get great health care benefits, of course, but you get tuition reimbursement, you get to participate in just so many things that are available. And most importantly, you get to serve the patients in the community that we live in.
For more information on how to RSVP to that networking event, you can go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on the Career Resources page. Well, did you stay up to watch the Oscars right here on RTV6?
I saw a smidge of the red carpet.
Yeah, we had to go to bed.
Well, several movies that played at last fall's Heartland International Film Festival here in Indy were among the nominees and winners. Parasite, which brought home 4 Academy Awards last night, including Best Picture, was a late add to the Heartland roster. The film is just the latest in what's becoming a longer list of Oscar winners to come through the Circle City. We talked recently with artistic director Greg Sorvig about how Heartland is becoming a bigger name on the movie festival circuit.
We used to be very insular. We didn't travel to other festivals, and I don't know if we expected people to come to us. So I've been at Heartland in 8 years, and it's been pretty special seeing the rise and expansion as well too. But it's been good instead of us telling people, hey, this is what we are. It's just more of like, hey, good to see you again, or they know who we are, which is very refreshing.
In addition to Parasite, Jojo Rabbit, and Marriage Story, all up for Best Picture, played at Heartland. 12 Academy Award nominated films, all played here in Indy. And it was a good night last night to stay inside and watch the Oscars, Todd, because all of that rainfall that has continued into this morning.
Yeah, it just kept coming and coming. I went to bed. I heard it hit into my windows in my bedroom. I woke up and it was still hitting my windows in the bedroom. The good news is we are going to see these rain chances start to decrease as the morning wears on. In fact, we'll take the coverage down to only about a 20% chance by the time we get to 9 a.m. So that's the good news for your commute. The longer you can hold off commuting into work this morning, the drier it will be. But at least for the next few hours, we'll continue to deal with these rain showers that'll be making their way through the area. And you see them here on Storm Team 6 radar. And now we're mixing in a few snowflakes on the backside of this as the colder air starts to make its way into the area. We will not see any accumulation from the snow, and this rain again will move out of here. This is basically the last hurrah that's pushing through right now. Once that goes through this afternoon, just lots of clouds around, still that damn feeling, but temperatures, once they fall back down into the 30s and 40s from where they are right now, will hold pretty steady from mid-morning into the afternoon hours.
Todd, thank you. The Democratic candidates for president are buzzing their way through the Granite State this morning. After the break, we're taking a look at how the frontrunners are preparing for the nation's first primary.
And the coronavirus has claimed nearly 100 lives in China on Sunday alone, the deadliest day yet. This morning, why the virus is quickly making its way into the history books.
And here's a live look right now at traffic at I-69 near Brooks School Road. Everything here is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. We'll be right back after this short break with more news, weather, and traffic right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Now to Democracy 2020, the New Hampshire primary is about 24 hours away, and the latest polling shows the top two candidates from Iowa are also leading in the Granite State.
As ABC's Trevor Ault reports, Senator Bernie Sanders and Mayor Pete Buttigieg now trying to maintain their momentum as they fight off increasing attacks from their opponents.
With now less than 24 hours before New Hampshire casts its vote, Democratic presidential candidates aggressively campaigning down to the final moments. Mayor Pete Buttigieg has been surging since his strong showing in Iowa. He's pushing back against claims from former Vice President Joe Biden that he's trying to brand himself as the next Obama.
Well, he's right. I'm not Barack Obama, and neither is he. Neither is anyone running for president right now. And this isn't 2008, it's 2020.
With Buttigieg siphoning some of his supporters, Biden now sitting in fourth in the latest New Hampshire polls. This weekend, he continued to unleash more pointed attacks about Buttigieg's lack of experience.
What has he done? Who has he pulled together? Does he know any of the foreign leaders?
Senator Amy Klobuchar also riding some momentum from a strong debate showing, seeing some of her largest crowds yet.
Every step of the way, we have defied expectations.
But right now, the New Hampshire frontrunner is still Senator Bernie Sanders, who dominated in 2016 and is confident he can pull off a repeat.
If we win here in New Hampshire, and with your help, I think we can win. It'll make it easier for us to win in Nevada and in South Carolina and in California.
Another candidate to watch out for is Senator Elizabeth Warren, hoping to break out from the middle of the pack. And while her poll numbers have been slipping, she and Senator Klobuchar and former Vice President Joe Biden all say no matter what happens here in New Hampshire, their campaigns are built for the long haul. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Heartbreaking new statistics this morning surrounding the coronavirus. Health officials say the deadly virus has now infected more people than the SARS outbreak back in 2003. The sickness spreading through China, claiming nearly 100 more lives yesterday. This brings the total death toll to more than 900. However, the coronavirus death rate is still far less than SARS. SARS infected 8,000 people and killed 774, whereas the coronavirus has infected almost 41,000.
We'll soon have the first ever pictures of the sun's poles. Europe and NASA's solar orbiter launched into space overnight on a mission to capture the exclusive scene. The spacecraft will fly through the sun's outer atmosphere to get the photos. Scientists say it will help in predicting space weather and scoping out other habitable solar systems. Todd, they should have had you read that story. You could have told us about what the weather is like in outer space.
I was just enjoying watching the pictures while you read it. That's pretty spectacular. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with some rain showers across the area, and we're starting to see that changeover back to a little bit of snow on the backside of this system. Don't be alarmed if you see a few flakes. They're just going to hit the ground, and they'll basically melt away since the ground is so wet from all the rain we've seen since yesterday afternoon. In and around the metro area, light rain continues to fall. Here's that transition over now into portions just to the northwest of Lebanon into the Crawfordsville area. Don't be surprised if you see a few flakes, and that'll continue as this colder air comes in. Some spotty showers down to the south, Bloomington, Martinsville, Nashville, over into the Shelbyville area, then off towards the east. A little pocket of heavier rainfall just to the south of Newcastle, and that'll be moving into Wayne County and Richmond shortly as all this precipitation, whether it's rain or a little bit of that snow, moves pretty quickly now west to east across the state. Pretty sharp cutoff to the north, so we're not dealing with any precipitation in Lafayette as well as Kokomo, Peru, although you still have that very, very damp feel. And you notice that this rain and snow extends all the way from Maine south of what I have shown here into the Texas area, but the this front, as it continues to push to the east, will continue to take the precipitation with it. And by the second half of the day, we're still going to be dealing with that damp feel and maybe a little bit of patchy fog settling in, but we won't have the steady rainfall like we have this morning. Still 45 in Bedford, 44 in Bloomington. Here's the colder air that's coming in, down to 33 in Crawfordsville and 35 in Lafayette. Throughout the day today, once your temperatures get into the 30s, and some of you are there, for those of you in the 40s, you'll eventually get into the 30s. Once that happens, you'll stay pretty steady throughout the remainder of the day. Temperatures may go up a couple degrees into the mid to upper 30s later on this afternoon, but that is just about it as far as temperatures today. Here's the precipitation, 7:30, starting to wind up. A few showers linger a little bit longer in southern locations, but they should all be out of here by the noon hour. And then the skies will try to clear just a little bit later on this afternoon. It's going to be really, really tough for that to happen, though. The ground is just so wet and saturated, and as the cooler air continues to filter in, those clouds will just fill right back in. So if you see a peak of sunshine, consider yourself lucky. Most of us just deal with clouds. Tomorrow's a dry day for us. Enjoy it. It's not the brightest day. We'll have some sunshine mixed in with a temperature of 40 degrees. But once we get to Wednesday, yeah, another storm system heads our way. It's not a super strong storm, but it will have enough maybe for some minor snow accumulation Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours before going over to rain, and then ending again Thursday morning as a little bit of light snow as that real cold air comes in. Look at those low temperatures for Friday and Saturday morning.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a look right now at those wet roads. This is over near the airport, I-70 here at the airport ramps. You can see traffic is still moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. Watch for ponding out there this morning. Let's take a look at your drive times coming in from the south side on northbound State Road 37 from State Road 144 in the Bargersville area up to the I-465 ramps. A quick 12-minute drive, no delays. And across the county, Whiteland Road up to the downtown area, I-70 at the north split. It's an 18-minute drive on northbound I-65. Well, we are working for you with a traffic alert for Zionsville drivers this morning. Town leaders say the Sycamore Street Bridge crossing Long Branch Creek near Lions Park is scheduled to close this morning. During the next 6 months, crews will work to rehabilitate that bridge. The bridge is scheduled to reopen in late August. Weather conditions are being blamed for an increase of animals at the Indianapolis Animal Care Services.
The shelter says it's running out of space. So from now until February 28th, adoptions are just $5. Some exclusions do apply. The IACS shelter is on South Harding Street. It is open every day except Wednesdays. Netflix is getting a little more chill. They've just revealed a way you can turn off those autoplay previews. This is in response to some complaints about the feature that automatically plays trailers if you stop on a title. To change it, first you'll need to log into your account from a browser. Next, go to Manage Profiles and select the profile you would like to update. You'll see an option labeled Autoplay Previews while browsing on all devices. Just uncheck that box and you're good to go.
Here's something you may want to do for tomorrow morning. It turns out changing up your alarm clock sound could make all the difference in your day. Australian researchers had some people wake up to melodic tunes while others set their alarms to beeping noises. They found out that the people who woke up to the songs were less groggy and had more energy throughout their day. Researchers think songs warm up the brain gently while sounds like beeping shock it into action. They're still looking into which songs are the best. So far, they recommend Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys and Close to Me by The Cure.
Nothing makes waking up at 2 a.m. easy.
No, you're still pretty tired.
No matter what the noise is. Puerto Rico has been rocked by devastating earthquakes the last few months. After the break, how the island's women's basketball team is giving residents a glimmer of hope.
When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down, we're feeling all right.
Well, we want you to watch the sun go down at Ruoff Music Center all summer long. Keep watching Good Morning Indiana for your chance to win a pair of country mega tickets to see 8 concerts, including our own friend Kenny Chesney. It's 5:22. We'll be right back after this short break.
Kids.org to make a donation today.
Puerto Rico's women's basketball team is making history.
Yeah, the team is going to the Olympics for the first time ever. The International Basketball Federation confirms that qualification. Puerto Rico snags the 3rd qualifier spot thanks to Brazil's loss to Australia. The rest of the U.S. will send a team to Japan this summer also. Team USA qualified because it won the Women's Basketball World Cup. All right, here at 5:25, we got to check in with Todd in today's forecast.
It's still rainy out there
Yeah.
in spots. It started yesterday afternoon with that snow, and boy, that rain came down quite steady and quite heavy throughout the evening and into the overnight period. You notice, though, we are starting to see a little bit of snow mixing on the backside. That's the colder air coming in along the cold front, and it's that cold front that's going to eventually push all this precipitation off towards the east, so we only deal with it for a few more hours. And then this afternoon, just lots of clouds, but temperatures remain on the cool side. 37 in Indy as well as Peru, about 40 degrees in Bloomington and Richmond. Raphael.
It caught the city off guard, while nearly 3 million police reports are no longer online. That story at 6 a.m. when I join Lauren and Meredith on Good Morning, Indiana.
And right now, I want to give you a look at those wet roads that you'll hit as you're heading out the door on this Monday. I-465 and I-74 here on the west side. Traffic is picking up and it's still traveling up to speed. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Pastors around the city are coming together to take a stand against violence.
Here are the special sermons they delivered on Sunday, including a call to action for the community. And an effort to save money and to keep you safe on the interstates is almost a year old, but there have been some bumps in the road.
Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with details on the project. But first, we want to get a check at our Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. Todd Clausen is standing by to show you what's going on out here. You can't see a whole lot from this camera, Todd, downtown. So what's it looking like out there?
Yeah, you know, that camera's on top of the Salesforce Tower, so it's locked in with the clouds. That is not a representation of what's happening on the ground with patchy fog. So we do not have that out there, but we do have wet conditions across the area as this rain continues to move through, and now a little bit of some light snow in spots. Here's the showers: Danville to Brownsburg, Martinsville, Greenwood, Shelbyville, Greenfield, Carmel, Noblesville, all dealing with the rain showers as we slide to the north, just south of Crawfordsville here along 231 up to I-74. A little bit of a changeover. So as the precipitation ends in your neighborhood, don't be shocked if you see a few flakes. It's not going to be like yesterday, though. At the onset of this precipitation, when we saw this snow start to accumulate across the area, that is not going to happen. The flakes will just hit the wet ground and fade away. To the north, the precipitation is basically coming to an end, and it'll end for almost all of us by 8, 9 o'clock this morning as it shifts off towards the east. That's the good news. So the longer you can hold on to your morning commute and stay home, the better off you'll be, or at least the drier it'll be for your commute. Still in the 40s in some locations. Everybody will fall into the 30s as this colder air starts to make its way into the area. And then temperatures, even though we end the rainfall, we'll just deal with clouds this afternoon, and those temperatures will hold pretty steady. 35 degrees by the noon hour, only going up to about 38 degrees by 4 p.m. One other thing we'll have to keep an eye on as this precipitation ends, not out of the question, a little bit of patchy fog could develop across parts of the area. Lauren?
Todd, thank you. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out to kick off your work week. Maybe you're heading out to catch a early morning flight, and here's what you can expect on I-70 near the airport. This is east of the airport ramps, and you can see traffic still moving along up to speed despite all the wetness out there this morning, so use caution. Watch for ponding. Here's a look right now at your traffic now maps as we plan out your drive heading southbound on I-65 from State Road 267 to I-70 at the North Split. It's a 21-minute drive, so that is traveling up to speed. Let's give you a look right now on the west side where we have heavier traffic. This is I-465 and I-74. No crashes, no delays right now to slow down your commute.
Indianapolis pastors are standing together to spread the message of peace. Sunday, more than 50 pastors across the city delivered special sermons addressing the recent uptick in violence. The sermons coming just days after a quadruple homicide took the lives of young adults aged 19 to 21. Pastors across the city call on community members to come together to help city leaders stop the violence.
It's going to take everyone to do this. This is not an issue that's only for the mayor or the police department. They cannot fix this by themselves. We have to stop becoming numb to it and desensitized to it so that we look at it as not our problem. It is our problem. It's everybody's problem. All of us have to be involved and concerned.
The next step is to take the discussion into upcoming Bible study classes and midweek worship services in hopes of figuring out solutions. Concerns about violence may come up today when the new IMPD chief talks to citizens at a community event. The McDonald's Broad Ripple will host coffee with the chief from 1 to 2:30 this afternoon. The city says that there will be no formal agenda or speeches. Instead, it's simply an opportunity for people to talk to Chief Randall Taylor and other IMPD leaders in a casual setting.
Today is your chance to hear details about a new roundabout project on the south and southeast sides of Indianapolis. The Department of Public Works plans to transform intersections at Stop 11 Road and Combs Road, Stop 11 Road and 5 Points Road, 5 Points Road and Edgewood Avenue, and Sherman Drive and Thompson Road. An open house to discuss the project start at 5:30 this evening. This will be held at the Franklin Central High School cafeteria. You'll be able to ask questions, provide feedback, and get details on the estimated construction timeline and planned detour routes.
Working for you, a new effort to save money and keep you safe on the interstates is on the road to market's first year. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live now with the details. Kelsey, a lot of people concerned about light outages along the interstate.
Yeah, that's right, Meredith. And if you look right behind me over this speed limit sign, you can see there's a light right there that's out, and right next to it to the left, another one that's out. And while we were looking into your concerns about light outages along the interstate, we learned about a new program, a new lighting program being tested. INDOT tells us that last summer, they invested about $500,000 on installing LED lights along its East Central District. That district includes Marion County, 465, as well as Hamilton, Hancock, Delaware, and Madison counties. The state is testing the new lighting system to see whether it will expand to the rest of the state.
We spent, about $500,000 on our LED program this summer, which sounds like a big expense now for a bunch of light bulbs, but in the end, it'll save taxpayers money because LEDs are environmentally friendly. They give out more light, they go out less, so our maintenance crews aren't having to go up and change light bulbs all the time.
If you need to report a light outage on the interstate, the best way to do that is at indot4u.com, or you can call 855-463-6848. Crews have 30 days once a report is made to fix the outage. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Some winners at the 92nd Academy Awards everyone expected, while others made history.
The acting honors at the 2020 Oscars went to the favorites. Best Supporting Actor winner, Brad Pitt. Best Actress winner, Renee Zellweger. Laura Dern, took home Best Supporting Actress, and Best Actor went to Joaquin Phoenix. But the night belonged to Parasite, the first Asian film to win a Screenplay Oscar. It also won Best International Feature Film, Best Director, and made history as the first foreign language film to ever win Best Picture.
I feel like a very opportune moment in history is happening right now.
The only other person to win 4 Oscars in 1 year, Walt Disney in 1954. And once again, here's a look at the night's biggest winners. Stick with us throughout the morning for a recap of the entire night. And after Good Morning Indiana, GMA is taking us backstage with those winners and inside the after party.
Looking forward to that. Well, many of those films that were honored to be part of last night's Oscars came from the independent circuit. Those movies are hard to find here in Central Indiana, but this new venue will soon be filling that void. Construction is in full swing at the Can-Can Theater. The building is situated in Windsor Park neighborhood, just a little northeast of the core of downtown. The theater will eventually include 4 screens, with the largest seating 150 people to a very intimate 30-seat room. There are multiple community spaces as well.
Indianapolis has had an awesome burgeoning filmmaking community and film-loving community, but we've been missing a home to kind of gather all parties together.
Let us be your host. You come here. Let us be a convening space. Let's put your work up on the screen. Let's help all of you kind of come together. We all love film, and we've been all watching and programming film for years, so we just are so excited to bring that to a year-round venue.
Well, the Can is hoping to have their premiere screening sometime before the end of March. They're also looking to be a host site for some of Indy's film festivals. Annual memberships are available if you'd like to be a part of the Can's mission. And today, Todd, would be a great day to go watch a movie or stay inside and watch a movie. At least, and last night, we should say that as well.
Right, absolutely. You know, today, and really, there'll be several opportunities this week. Maybe you want to stay indoors and catch a movie or a matinee special if you venture out and about. This morning, we are dealing with rain showers across the area. So we'll give you the caution yellow light here because we are not dealing with temperatures below freezing. So it's just plain old rain. And then by this afternoon, those rain showers come to an end. It's still cloudy, but we'll give you the green light there as we're not going to be really running into any issues. But here is the rain right now. You can see it coming to an end in northern locations. From Indianapolis to the south, you'll probably hang on to these rain showers through 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then they should start to ramp up. But even once the rain comes to an end, we're still locked in with the clouds. We still have that damp feel around, and it's going to feel kind of dreary out there as well. So the precipitation ends. That's the good news, but there's not a whole lot in the way of improvement as far as the afternoon goes. And temperatures, they hold pretty steady. More on that and a look ahead to our next weather maker, which is not too far away, coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The New Hampshire primary is tomorrow, but all eyes are still on Iowa as the state waits for the final official voting numbers. Coming up, why the Democratic Party in the state revised numbers and the effect it had on the outcome.
And we have a recall alert for parents this morning. Coming up, why one company is urging parents to stop using several of its baby carriers and how you can get a refund if you have one. The time right now is 5:39. We'll be right back after this short break.
Zyrtec, muddle no more.
In New York, authorities have captured a man suspected of shooting multiple NYPD officers in 2 assassination attempts. The first happened on Saturday night. Police say the man, identified as 45-year-old Robert Williams, opened fire on 2 officers sitting in a marked van in the Bronx. One officer was hit in the neck and the chin. The second officer was not hurt. Police say Williams then walked into a Bronx precinct station Sunday morning and opened fire. A lieutenant was shot in the arm. Officers returned fire and Williams surrendered after running out of bullets. He was immediately arrested. Both injured officers are expected to be okay.
The first U.S. citizen has died from coronavirus in the Chinese city of Wuhan. The U.S. Embassy in Beijing says the patient was 60 years old. A World Health Organization-led international team is expected to leave for China today or tomorrow to investigate the outbreak, which is now responsible for more than 810 deaths. Meanwhile, a cruise ship that saw a coronavirus scare is preparing to sail again. 4 passengers on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas were tested for the virus. They had recently traveled to China. 3 of them turned out to have the flu. The ship is set to take sail today.
In Washington, 2 more officials that testified in the impeachment trial of President Trump have been fired. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was fired from the National Security Council Friday. The top Ukrainian expert was escorted from the White House by security. EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland was also let go Friday. Sondland had worked on Ukraine policy with Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. His testimony tied top White House officials to potential quid pro quo by President Trump. With Sondland and Vindman out, 8 of 12 officials who testified publicly during the impeachment hearings have left their roles, been fired, or reassigned. At 5:44, turning now to Iowa, the state's Democratic Party says former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is leading the Iowa caucuses, but the battle in the Hawkeye state may not be over just yet.
Democratic candidates have until 1 p.m. Eastern today to call for a recanvass or recount, and that's expected to happen. Updated vote numbers and a review of precincts has Buttigieg claiming 14 delegates. Senator Bernie Sanders is in second place with 12 delegates. But the Sanders team says Iowa is still in play and they are set to fight the results. About 3% of precincts in Iowa were reviewed after reports of inconsistencies.
The Olympics are just 5 months away, and we're getting a first look at the uniforms that Team USA will don as they step onto the medals podium in Tokyo. Nike revealed the look at the fashion show. The company says the new designs were inspired by recycled recycled materials that make up the medals as well as Japanese kimonos. The national team logo and other parts of the outfit will be made from recycled athletic shoes and surplus manufacturing scraps. The jacket and pants will be made from 100% recycled materials, including nylon and polyester. Medalists will also be given Nike VaporMax shoes, which are made from 75% recycled manufacturing waste. All right, Todd, as people are heading out the door today, they may just want the rain boots because it's been wet out there.
Yeah, the boots, the umbrella, you definitely need the jacket as well as we continue to deal with this rain. It has been a very, very wet stretch of weather, really from yesterday afternoon now into this morning. Beginning to see things wind down, though. To the north, we're done with the rainfall, still rain in and around the metro area and points down to the south. But all along the 465 loop, we're dealing with rain showers. The windshield wipers will be going. And up to the north, there's a little bit of flurry action on the tail end of this precipitation as it comes to an end. If you see a few snowflakes, it's not going to amount to anything at all accumulation-wise, so you don't have to worry about that. Some light showers, Nashville down into the Columbus area and then off towards the east. In Newcastle, Richmond, you're going to hang on to the rain the longest this morning. So the further east you are, the longer the showers will be in your neighborhood. Here is the back edge of the rain now in Crawfordsville as well as Terre Haute. This should quickly start to race off towards the east throughout the morning. So if you could delay your morning commute a little while longer, as you get into the 8 and 9 o'clock hour, it'll be a lot drier than it is here at the 5 o'clock hour and into the 6 o'clock hour. But this is a big system stretching all the way from Maine down to Texas, but we're just finally on the tail end of it. That is the good news. TrueCast confirms that to the south and east. Again, the showers linger a little bit longer into the middle of the afternoon, but by 10:30, Indianapolis to the north should be dry across the area. And then by this afternoon, the skies are going to try to clear, and I can't rule out maybe a few peaks of sunshine for you, but ultimately I think the clouds fill back in. So if you get a little sunshine, enjoy it because it's not going to last very long. As far as temperatures go, few 40s still on the map from Bloomington to Connorsville, but the colder air will continue to work its way in during the course of the day, and then temperatures will hold pretty steady for us, only getting back up to right around 37 to 38 degrees with just cloudy skies throughout the afternoon hours and maybe a little bit of patchy fog. One of the good places to be this evening, Bankers Life Fieldhouse, nice and warm in there as the Brooklyn Nets are in town to take on the Pacers. Boy, we need to take an end to this losing streak that we've seen here. So hopefully we can beat the Nets. Temperatures in the mid-30s. Cool but dry conditions tomorrow. We're still dry with temperatures that will be in the 40-degree range for us. So a fairly seasonable day tomorrow with dry conditions. And then on Wednesday, as we go back over to TrueCast, most of Wednesday's dry, but late in the day, we'll see some snow develop across the area. And there could be some accumulation Wednesday into Thursday. Doesn't look like a ton in the way of snow at this point, but nonetheless, Thursday morning's commute could be a little slick, but then temperatures really tumble. 10 degrees Friday morning, a high of only 26 Friday afternoon on Valentine's Day, and then Saturday, a temperature only 19 degrees in the morning.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's plan out your drive on I-70 right now, heading eastbound from the area near the airport, Ronald Reagan Parkway to I-65 at the South Split. It is a 12-minute drive at this hour, so no delays here to slow you down. Let's take a look right now down to the south. This is I-65 at County Line Road. Traffic in this spot is traveling smoothly, both northbound and southbound. Watch for any ponding as you're heading out there this morning. Now to a consumer alert. This is for parents today. Around 14,000 baby carriers, are being recalled due to faulty buckles that could cause children to fall out. The carriers are made by Infantino, and they were sold at Walmart, Target, and Amazon stores between November and December of last year. Affected products include the Go Forward, Flip Front, and Up Close models. No injuries have been reported yet. If you do have one of these affected products, stop using it immediately. You can contact Infantino for a refund or replacement. That information can be found on the RTV6 app.
A new degree program at Colorado State University is giving new meaning to the term higher learning. Beginning next fall, the school will offer a degree in cannabis biology and chemistry. The Bachelor of Science program will be located on the Pueblo campus, where CSU has an Institute of Cannabis Research. Students can choose from one of two tracks, either a natural products track focused on biology or an analytical track that focuses on chemistry. CSU's program is not the first of its kind, however. Northern Michigan University offers a bachelor program in medicinal plant chemistry.
Die-hard Britney Spears fans can indulge in the pop star's most iconic moments one more time. An interactive pop-up museum and retail experience has opened up in Los Angeles. The Zone is a 10-room, 30,000 square foot space. Each room is designed to mimic different video or musical eras, from Baby One More Time to Toxic to I'm a Slave for You. The museum will be open through April 26th.
America is on board for the wild ride as pilot Pete searches for his true love. And we're talking to the man himself this morning. Coming up, what Peter had to say about his drama-filled season and if we'll be seeing more of Hannah B. That's coming up.
Well, it may be the most dramatic season in Bachelor history. Truly, America is on board for a wild ride as pilot Pete searches for true love. Last week, the two-night special kicked off with the women angry about the return of villain Alea. And just as soon as Peter squashes that drama, more fights between the women break out in the house. The group travels to Santiago, Chile, and Peter hopes to put the drama behind him. We got to talk with Peter and ask him some questions about the season, like his relationship with Hannah Brown. Is that really over once and for all?
Not much I can tell you about that. Maybe if there's anything else with Hannah Brown. But what I can speak on is, what you guys saw of us in the very beginning of the season was a lot of just real, raw conversations that kind of needed to be had. And I know it kind of was left maybe a little open-ended, but there also was, in that moment there was good closure.
Well, he concluded by telling me that he's happy now, but he can't say much more. He also tells us that that final week of filming was the toughest week of his life. So we'll just have to wait and tune in. You can follow along with Peter's journey to find love tonight, starting at 8 o'clock. He didn't seem like he was maybe engaged. He kind of said, well, I'm happy and I followed my heart.
And remember when I interviewed Hannah last season, and I came out of that interview and I said, you guys, something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened. I said there was no sparkle in her eye, as we frequently see with contestants when they have a sparkle on their fingers. So, okay, we'll have to wait and see. All right, Todd. No sparkle in the sky, just a lot of rainfall right now.
Oh, my goodness. Can't we just get a full day of sunshine here in the forecast? That'd be so nice. And welcome across the area. We're still dealing with this rain, moving through basically the southern half of the state, and all this rain's moving from west to east. And it should be out of here by about 8, 9 o'clock for most of us. You notice temperatures, though, are above freezing. That is the good news. This is just all rain. You can see a few flakes mixed in, but with temperatures above freezing, you don't have to worry about any ice on the roadways. So that's good news, at least. Temperatures will hold pretty steady in the 30s throughout the afternoon hours. We'll go from the morning showers to just clouds this afternoon, and maybe a little bit of patchy fog developing here across parts of the area.
Todd, thank you. Coming up here on Good Morning Indiana.
Millions of police reports pulled from the internet, why they're no longer available to the public, and what you can do if you need that information.
When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down, we're feeling all right. When the
sun go down at Rudolph Public Mortgage Music Center all summer long. Here at 6:30, you can win a pair of tickets to the Country Mega Ticket. That's going to see you 8 concerts here at Rudolph. We'll have that coming up on Good Morning Indiana. Stick around.